Welcome everyone to Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We're going to explore the two neighborhoods in North Brooklyn, just wander around aimlessly. No plan, no direction. Don't bother even looking at the map. Just enjoy this video as we wander around these two amazing neighborhoods. It's worth sometimes ditching the maps, the GPS, the phone, any plans, any itinerary. Sometimes it's really worth in these neighborhoods to just go where the wind leads you. Sometimes you'll find very magical things. I'm Ariel with Urbanist. Let me know where you're watching from. So I have returned to my favorite cafe, El Biet, here in Williamsburg. And I'm on Bedford Avenue, just after eating a huge burger at the Bedford, which is a restaurant on Bedford Avenue. And this coffee shop I absolutely loved. I actually covered it when I first started Urbanist. It's 158 Bedford Avenue. They have an amazing espresso, and there's a lot of gift shops all around us and a lot of cool things. So soon we're going to go to where the train station is. I'll show you the location of the L train, and then we're going to go to Greenpoint. Hello Patricia from the Bronx. Hello Beck from Australia. Welcome. And te saluda Silvia de Mar de Plata. Gracias por mirando. ¿No? Espero un día ir a Mexico. I can't wait to one day to go to Mexico. Hello Fernanda from Portugal. Welcome. Nice to see you. So these guys, if you've been watching Urbanist since the beginning, you might remember I did a live video in a cafe. I've done many videos in coffee shops, but this one was my actually first official video where I showed everything behind the scenes, how the barista makes his coffee, how they select their beans, everything. It was really cool. It was a fun experience, and it led to many other coffee shop live videos I ended up doing, including Blue Bottle and Intelligentsia and La Colombe, also in Philadelphia. So this coffee shop also is very famous because they used to have a bench outside. Now, because of the pandemic, they've removed that bench and they're just doing window service, and they have 2 seats over here. But it was famous for its bench. I'll show you where it is. Soon we'll start walking. I just got to drink this coffee first. It's very hot. When you order Americano, sometimes they serve it boiling hot. So they have these tiny little chairs, but the bench used to be right there, right in the front. Right there, the bench. It was a great bench because Bedford Ave is the major thoroughfare of Williamsburg. All the people here tends to be a lot of stylish people. Maybe not at this exact moment in time as I'm showing the camera, but come here later on the Friday, later on the Saturday, or when there's not a major pandemic, you will see much more stylish people, especially when there's not a pandemic. I think the pandemic has kind of lowered fashion standards. All right, so let me take another swig, and then we're gonna walk around. We're gonna take a break to take another swig. Have a great day. You as well. Thank you. Great coffee as always. Oh, thank you. All right. So now we're walking. You know, walking with a cup of coffee isn't quite as special when wearing a massive mask. But I'll do my best to look cool walking around with a cup of coffee, even though I can't drink it because I have a huge mask. Let me know if you have any questions. We're just wandering around. Our direction is going to be ultimately towards Greenpoint, but we're gonna literally go without any direction. There's gonna be a lot of food recommendations here also, like I always do, especially in Williamsburg. There's so much great food. This is one of my favorite places for chicken and waffles. Just the chicken and waffles are just absolutely delicious here. This coffee shop, unlike El Biet, is always empty. And it's been here since the beginning of time. Hello Jody from Australia, welcome. Hello Diana from Colombia, bienvenidos, gracias por mirando. Pueden preguntarme cualquier cosa en español también. Cheesecake recommendation. Cheesecakes, you'll be hard to find good cheesecakes in New York City nowadays. There's a handful of spots where that sell excellent cheesecakes, and one of the top 3 spots that sell excellent cheesecakes is Martha's Country Bakery. Here in Williamsburg, they have 2 locations. Their original locations from Astoria, Queens. And Cindy, I hope Cindy's watching because I'm going to show North 7th. Cindy, let me know if you're watching. Ciao de Italia, Claudio. Buonasera. No parle italiano, pero you can ask me anything in English. Bernoro, yeah, sorry to hear that. Action Kid lost his service. You know, it happens in, surprisingly, in Long Island. You know, you would think you have great service in most of New York City, but you do not, unfortunately. So here is North 7th and Bedford. This is the train station. They are redoing the train station completely. I think they're getting very close to it. This is their new elevator service. Hello, Jacqueline. Cindy, you're here. Okay, so Cindy, let me know. Where was your old room? Your old apartment building? Let me know. So North 7th has always been the center of Williamsburg. People get off the train and they go out here and start their partying adventure. So a lot of things have changed. This used to be a Salvation Army. Now it's a Chase Bank. It was empty for many years and people were wondering what was going to be built here. One of the first Starbucks is built in Williamsburg. And one of my first experiences in Williamsburg personally was going to a Halloween party over here. And it being packed to the brim. I was so shocked that this group of 21-year-olds, we're all around 21, owned an apartment with like 4 rooms. I was blown away. So let's it's down the block where your sister lives. Oh, okay, Cindy, I'll go down this block. All right, let me know which number. If anyone wants me to show you anything within reason, I'll do my best. Let me know. A lot of people are indeed wearing masks. Though I do miss the days when I used to do a live video and never wear a mask. It was very nice times. Elliot, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate it. So, Beacon's Closet is nearby. Yes, it is. It is packed to the brim with people. People are actually waiting outside. I've shown it inside before. I forgot when. It was almost like a year ago. Kay, you actually remember the live video from the coffee shop. Wow, you have good memory. Yeah, that was 3.5 years ago. What is this clicking sound? Let's see. I have a clicking sound. This is annoying. I did not expect this. Oh, I see. Something's happening here. Yeah. It's hitting my button. Yeah, my last video, I had a clicking sound and I didn't realize this microphone hits my button And that's making clicking sound. Hopefully it's gone. Let me know. I'll show you more of the outdoor. So here we have a group of lots of people coming in from the subway. And yeah, no rain. The rain has gone away, luckily. So we're starting right now in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And this is an open street. I like streets when they're open. So let's walk down it. Let's check it out. The clicking sound, yeah, has happened before. I didn't realize it for the entire last video. So unfortunately, I have a video with all clicking sound. So I was here last weekend and there was at least like 4 or 5 times more people. You're gonna see that later in the night. Right now it's a little bit early. We're kind of in those between hours between brunch and party time. And that's why it's pretty empty right now. But soon it'll be packed to the brim with people partying up. Jackie, you have a fab shirt. You have a similar one. Oh, I'm glad you do have a similar one. Here, musicians are going to start playing.
You're doing less than 30 minutes.
So, yeah, no worries. Bernard, where did I park at? Oh, no, luckily I'm getting a ride. So no parking for me today. Cindy says, so nice. Yeah, it is. I agree. So even shopping is outdoors now, as we see on the side. People outdoors, drinking, having fun. Gwen, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll give you a second thank you for your contribution. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Helps the show. Thank you. Ooh, here's a restaurant that I've been meaning to go to. It's called Cheese Boat. And they sell those Central Asian recipes that are just like a piece of bread with a bunch of cheese in the middle, like creamy cheese. Don't know how to describe it, but it is famous in places like the Ukraine, I think. Georgia. It's famous in Georgia. Not the U.S. state, but the country. How's your executive producer? He's doing very well. He's taking a vacation. Or a staycation. Video killed the radio star. Yes, that was the song playing. And live video killed the Hollywood star. Barbara, I'm in quarantine, so I can't go outside. Happy to walk with you. I'm so glad you are. Have you done a video with Tom Delgado? No, I never met him before. But I know who you're referring to. I've seen him appear on a few other videos. Marlene, what streets are you on? I'm right now on Berry Street, and I'm heading towards the direction of Greenpoint. About to cross North 10th. Rolando, bienvenidos. Yes, it is gorgeous. I agree. Beautiful area. Lots of things to do here in Williamsburg. Am I going to Greenpoint? Yes, I am. I'm going to Greenpoint. It's going to be green, and there's going to be a point. Oh, you know what? I just realized. I just did a video about Greenpoint's history. I forgot to tell the story of how Greenpoint got its name. I literally intended to talk about that in the beginning. So I guess I'll talk about that soon. Well, stay tuned. We're going to Greenpoint. I'll tell you exactly how Greenpoint got its name. Ariel, you're so red. Yes, I'm a bit red. I get red after I drink. So yeah. Water will do me well. I gotta take a good sip of water. Coffee doesn't help. Coffee is a huge dehydrator. Also sun. It's been lots of sun today. Here's the Brooklyn Brewery. What time is it? It's about 6 p.m. Karen. Yeah, 6 p.m. Yeah, it's a bit quiet for 6 p.m. Now we're entering the area where it's much quieter, usually. This area doesn't get so packed with people. Hello, Shadows. Welcome. Lots of converted factories. Yes. This area of North Williamsburg is covered in factories. This used to be a heavy industrial area with residential a few blocks away. That residential is very old. Used to be typically lower classes would live there, working classes would live there. And Donaldo, you're having sorry, I added A to your name. To your name. You're having morning coffee. That's so cool. Glad you are. I typically do. Today I didn't. Irene, I usually use sunblock. Am I near Barcade? No, I'm actually walking the opposite way of Barcade. Barcade is about a 15-minute walk away. So let's see what's happening here. Let's see what will we encounter? Who will we meet? Hey, Leonard, you love my Bay Ridge, Brooklyn video. Can you check out the Skyline drive-in on Oak? Yeah, we'll see what that is. What is that? Great graffiti. Yes, there's a lot of great graffiti. So here is an outdoor drinking paradise. It's called McCarren Park, and it's opened by Freehold. Freehold is a famous restaurant venue. Look at this. I'll show it to you. So there we go. It's a new outdoor bar. This is a great place to finish coffee. Like any other? Okay. Okay, everyone. Time to finish a coffee. So feel free to ask me any questions. What is Skyline Drive-On? You're referring to a drive-in movie theater. Let me know. And great graffiti. Generally here there's amazing graffiti everywhere. And also very interesting architecture, which I'll show you right now. Can you bring your dog in? So yeah, the reason this is called McCarren Park is because it is a bar where you can bring your dog. Yeah. They changed my glasses. I was wearing sunglasses earlier. Now it's not so sunny, so I'm wearing regular glasses. So cool architecture. You see that new high-rise hotel. Lots of dogs here. Yes, lots of dogs. Here's the bar. How much was your shirt, Alexander? I get my shirts from Bonobos, and they range anywhere from $30 to $90. That's the price of the shirts. Shadow, yes, I did. Okay, so yeah, this is like kind of what we're seeing with how New York City is evolving. a lot of New Yorkers now are pet owners, especially a lot of dogs. So and people keep buying bigger and bigger dogs. So it's becoming very, very popular now to have a dog in many areas of Brooklyn, even some areas of Manhattan. And I'm glad they're making bars in order to fit them. That's really cool. It's Coffee Elfiette, truly one of the best coffees I've had. They just do something really special with it. It's hard to find exceptional coffee that's like really like different from other coffees, and this is one of them. So fun to see you hang out with local peeps. Indeed. Well, I'm not actually hanging out with them, I'm just in the same vicinity. Alright. I'm going to continue walking. I'm involved with animal rescue. Cool. What iPhone or camera do you use to shoot these videos? Steve, I use the iPhone Pro 11 Max. Yeah. Or Super Duper Pro 11 Max, iPhone 11 to the extreme 100% to transcendental levels by Apple. That's the phone I use. The reason it's 720 is because I use an app called Prism Live Studio. I notice a lot of dog walkers in your Manhattan videos. Yes, a lot of dog walkers in the Manhattan videos. And you can help your mate with the help of a dog. You can meet your mate with the help of a dog. Indeed you can. Indeed you can. All right, I'm gonna continue walking around. Let me turn the camera. And they have a little dog park. Kevin, you want that kind of phone? I'm glad you do. Yeah. You know, every time I say the official name, it just feels like I'm saying some ridiculous name. And I just walked in, but people are literally waiting in line. I just literally just walked in and sat down. That goes to show sometimes you could just waltz your way inside. So there's two bouncers in the front, and a line is getting longer and longer, people waiting. There's a bunch of empty tables. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. Though I just waltz in like I own the place, and I just sit down. Sometimes you gotta do that. Pro tip, if you're in New York City, if you see a bouncer or you see some type of security, at least try it out. Like you own the place. Like, you're invited by the friend, or the DJ, or the bartender, and just sit down. And sometimes, it just works. It works for me every time, 60% of the time. Here's another great rooftop bar. This is Barry Park. And this is another great coffee place called Upstate Stock. Upstate Stock. Okay, let's walk down here. There's not that much to see this way, so I'm actually curious what's down here. It's the shirt and the camera, yeah. I think maybe sometimes that is the case. So another bar. Try that in Ireland and you'll get thrown out on your ears. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what that?
Oh, this is the bowling alley. So this is a bowling alley. And Karen, no. No, when I'm walking around, I will be using the mask. Especially in crowded neighborhoods like this. I mean, don't you see the crowds? There's so many people. Ooh, some interesting street art. Do people have to wait to sit down in bars, in pubs in Ireland? England, I remember, there was always a section where you had to wait to be seated. Williamsburg is an odd place because while it is very popular and there's a lot of restaurants, there's still these kind of swaths of industrial areas. So you don't have really much things to see or do when you're here. It's kind of cool seeing these larger industrial buildings, but it's still empty, especially around the hotel areas. So here is the hotel I showed you earlier. Let's keep walking down. Let's go to Greenpoint. Bars are still closed in Manila. Oh, yeah. Pubs that don't serve food have been closed. Pubs that don't serve food have been closed since March in Ireland. Whoa. It's crazy to think that Ireland has closed pubs. All right, so not much here to see. Let me show you McCarren Park. Strange van. Roar again, says Mitch. That was not me. That was a motorcycle. And that was a huge, not motorcycle. That was like a Porsche. Jose, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. How are you doing? Enjoying Williamsburg? There used to be a little coffee cart here called Grady's Coffee. It's no longer around, but it used to be such a little treasure in the middle of not a very popular streets in Williamsburg. Looks a bit like a dodgy area. It's not dodgy. I don't think you'll encounter dodginess. It is empty, but not really dodgy. And sometimes during pre-pandemic times there was nightclubs around here, so there would be more people at night. It's cool how you're in the midst of a crowd 1 minute and you're in desolation the next, says Kevin. Yeah, Kevin, I mean that's the interesting thing about New York. You know, you have a city like Paris that ends up being much more dense, but here you have tiny little places like little bars like these in the middle, basically desolate streets. It's really cool. The benches. Look at that little nice outdoor bar. And this outdoor bar used to be empty last summer. Things have changed. People are now starting to go outside. Bernardo, you feel safer here than in the crowds. Here's the church. Shanae, you remember walking here for the first time? You found it very sketchy. I need a cup of water, so bear with me. I'm gonna drink some water. The sun is shining behind me. Oh. Bernard, you miss outdoor bars. Bernard, remind me where you are. You're in somewhere in Europe? Let me know again. Outdoor bars are wonderful. So, we see emptiness. Stay tuned because soon we're going to see fullness at McCarren Park. So I'm enjoying this tour. It says Taryn. I'm in Smoky, North California. Oh, I hope things get better in North California. I hope you're well and your family as well. Taryn, I'm glad you're enjoying this. Iowa. Oh, you're from Iowa, Bernard. Okay. Yeah. You know, I'm almost shocked that in many parts in America, we have such open spaces, wide, beautiful, bucolic open spaces. Some of the best nature you'll ever see, and yet you go anywhere to eat or drink in most of the U.S. and it's indoors. I cannot wrap my head around that. I don't know why that is. So here's one of the popular beer gardens. This is called Spritzenheiser. Spritzen House. Very popular place. Spritzen House. Great quality beers as well. And good prices. And here we see some clothing being sold. How long would it take there to Sunnyside? Ooh, Zara, maybe an hour and 30 minutes around there. I mean, we can try it. Yeah, an hour and 30 minutes. Someone did not care about the closed street and they just rammed their way through it. No, McCarren Pool is closed. I think they remodeled it and it was open last year. However, pandemic. That's how I'm just going to answer every question for now on. Pandemic. How's the food over here? Pandemic. Sarah says, love your videos. Oh, I'm glad you do, Sarah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Nice outdoor dining set for the truck. That's the downside of New York City outdoor dining. There's a lot of trucks. Fun fact, in Europe, the average vehicle and truck is half the size of American trucks and cars. Blame it on the pandemic. That doesn't rhyme so well, but I get where you're referencing, Cindy. Bring it on that. Blame it on the alcohol. So welcome to McCarren Park. This is a beautiful park area. It's usually packed to the brim with people. Huge, massive groups hanging out. Angela, hello. Look at this, everyone. Whoa. this is huge. So many people here. I'm doing very well. Just enjoying exploring Brooklyn and Williamsburg. Hey. So here we have a whole lot of people. So you truly get a sense of how many people are here. I remember coming to McCarren Park, it would get full, but not this full. This is way fuller than I'm used to. Let's see what else is around here. Way too many people, says Cynthia. Yeah, it is very, very full. Angela says it's lovely here. You're in the Bronx. Oh, I'm glad you think so, Angela. Let me know, does the Bronx have similar parks? Is there a park where a lot of people hang out in? There's a few, I assume. Let me know, what's the hangout in the Bronx? Here's the line for the bathroom, and it's huge because it's a tiny little bathroom. And you have NYPD here. Oh, interesting. So that's a good sign. Being people enjoying each other's company. Yes, indeed. It's refreshing seeing people out. Yeah. Van Cortlandt. Oh, interesting. Cool. Whoa. It's way fuller. That is amazing. It does feel like feels almost like a college quad. If you're not familiar with the term, college quad is like the center area of a college campus. It's common here in America where people just hang out in the greenery in the middle of college campus.
Wait a minute.
And this is just one out of 3 different sections of McCarren Park, so it continues down there. So a lot of people around here. And whole barbecues with patio chairs here. Whoa. Hi, good to see you, says Phil. I've been to a lot of kids' birthday parties, says Fernando. Oh, cool. I'm glad. I guess that's the only way you can see people is, I mean, for a lot of people, I assume that's the case where it's kids' birthdays where most of the hangouts are happening. Unless if you're here in New York City. And there's 3 sections of McCarren Park, so here's the second one. We were here at the first one right by Bedford Avenue. You go deeper in. There are technically also, I think, 3 different parks, but people just call it McCarren. Irene, people were locked in their houses, so now they go out like crazy, especially in the summer. Here in the winter, you stay more at home. Yeah, indeed. I like the running track area. Oh, cool, Susie. So yeah, this is the running track area. And I want to show you Greenpoint, so let's go back to Greenpoint. Love the pool and the handball court. Oh yes, I love handball. Haven't played it quite a while. It's definitely one of my favorite sports. There was an uptick in Sunset Park due to gatherings. Yeah, that's the tricky thing. Yeah. So lots of people here are gathering. This is a huge, huge party. The merengue is blasting loudly. There's cupcakes. Ooh, those cupcakes look good. They look very good. That was good. Let me know, has anyone crashed parties before? I've done it with like a few friends before, just like go to random parties. But let me know, have you crashed parties before? And what is your technique to crash a party? Let me know, because those cupcakes look really good. Really good. How many miles did you walk so far? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe 6 or 7. Bernal, supporter, people who are patrons, basically. That's the Facebook version of patrons. People give $5 a month as a tip. You cancel anytime. That's what a supporter is. Top fan is just someone who comments a lot. Comments and likes a lot. That's what the top fan is on Facebook. There's a handball alley up the road from me. You'll be able to play when you come over. Oh, okay. Yeah. Ireland is the only other area in the world that has handball. So it's only New York and Ireland, basically. Maybe New Jersey and nearby areas to a small extent. But yeah, I'm very curious how handball is like in Ireland. Crash the party, you could do it with the mask on, says Cindy. And Ray, thank you so much for the stars, I appreciate it. And yeah, say hi to everyone, ask how's the food. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I like that technique. So here's some bar. So lots of bars over here. And welcome to Greenpoint. So this is now Greenpoint. Ray, I'm so glad you love my videos. Glad they're interesting. We're wandering around. No history, unless we bump into it. So feel free to ask me any questions. And let me know if you want me to show you anything. Here's a vintage store. Look at that. A bar. It's not. A bar is a bar. A bar is a bar. So say that 10 times over. A bar is a bar. Rhea says I should be on TV. Ooh, Rhea, yeah, I agree with you. I can't wait to work on TV. I'm very excited to be on TV at some point. Very excited. So thank you. I'm glad you think that. Okay, I'm gonna give everyone a very important ice cream recommendation. Take out your notepads or your notepad app on iPhone. This is a very good craft beer place. Torst, really good craft beer. It's Swedish, if I'm correct, Swedish. And they just have amazing food. And ice cream recommendation here is Van Leeuwen. Van Leeuwen has amazing vegan ice cream and also regular ice cream. So Van Leeuwen, great, the best vegan ice cream in my opinion in New York City is this place right here. Right there. It's made with cashew milk. It's absolutely gorgeous and delicious. Definitely a shorter walk between Williamsburg and Greenpoint than I thought. Yeah, they're right next to each other. They're literally right next to each other. And it is short. Williamsburg is huge. It's huge. It's a huge neighborhood. However, we started in North Williamsburg. So North Williamsburg is where you see a lot of restaurants and bars. Once you go deeper into Williamsburg, it gets a little bit more residential, a little bit more Hasidic, and also more Hispanics. So the businesses are a little bit different the deeper you go into Williamsburg. Hey, Angela says Rhea is your sister, and she actually told you about my channel. That's so cool. I'm so glad that's the case. Welcome. Metropolitan Avenue at Bedford. So Bushwick is blowing up too. Okay, so let's see. Where should we go? Maybe we should go on Nassau. So I barely explored Nassau. And Bushwick is blowing up too. Stay tuned. I might do another wandering in Bushwick soon because I think it's worth going on a Saturday night. So maybe next Saturday. Frankel's is closed. Oh, I'm so sad. Yeah, they make a tasty bagel from what I heard, but it's closed. Metropolitan Avenue at Bedford, that's a bit farther away. Here's the G train stop. And we're also close to a ferry stop at Greenpoint, which I'll show you towards the end of this video. We'll end up there somehow. Okay, so let's see if hopefully my favorite vegan pastry shop is open. Let's see. New shirt it's groovy. Not new. I haven't worn it in months. So it's not new, but thank you. I'm glad you think it's groovy. Just like the Simon Garfunkel song, I Am Feeling Groovy. Oh no, my favorite vegan bakery is closed. This vegan bakery is truly exceptional. This is Happy Zoe Vegan Bakery. When they open up, hopefully they do, crossing fingers, their food, their baked goods are completely vegan. No dairy used, and also no sugar used. They sweeten their baked goods with raisins and prunes and dates. So it's truly an exceptional bakery. Amazing cake. I hope they open up at some point. Have I done Peter Pan donuts? Yes, I have. Though, let's go a little bit further down. I'll show you another donut shop that is, in my opinion, as good as Peter Pan, and is a bit controversial because the guy who opened it up worked at Peter Pan's for more than 15 years. Look at this nice restaurant. This is like high-end dining, and here you'll see older people because this was a major Polish neighborhood from the early 1900s all the way into like the 1970s and 80s. People started coming through, and so you'll see a lot more people coming through into these Polish areas. I mean, you'll see a lot of older people still here. All right, let's see if Moe's is open. I don't think so. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Okay, everyone. Okay. So here is Moe's, and they make really great donuts on the level Peter Pan because the guy who worked at Peter Pan for 15 years opened this up. So he knows the recipe. It's a bit controversial because, you know, he kind of copied them. Kind of continue doing the same recipe. But I'm going to show you, they do one truly exceptional donut. Let's go inside. I'll buy a donut and show it to all of you. Hey, how's it going? Good. I'll have a, oh wow, amazing. I'll have an old fashioned. What are these? What's it called? Danish. Danish, okay. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great day. Karen, oh yeah, the reason I said that there was more older people in Greenpoint is because Williamsburg, if you'll notice, there's a lot, Mostly everyone who's hanging out in Williamsburg is below 45, generally. So Moe's Donut Shop, and they didn't have the chocolate sprinkled donut, but I got myself a old-fashioned donut. So I'll tell you how it is. They excel at their chocolate sprinkled donuts, like what you would taste at Dunkin' Donuts, except a lot better. All right, so let's It's not that much here to see. Should we go across? Egg custard donut, please. Shop is empty. Yeah, you know, I mean, donut shops don't stay open until late, so yeah, I think that's why it's empty. So this is McGinnis Boulevard, and it leads to the Pulaski Bridge. And let's walk this way. The egg custard donut looked good as well. They had a beautiful, beautiful cheese Danish. Dunkin' Donuts is the worst, but you know, as a little kid, I grew up eating Dunkin' Donuts and I love that chocolate sprinkled donut. I try it now and it's really terrible. Come to Moe's earlier and you'll have a great chocolate sprinkled donut that is way better than Dunkin' Donuts. On leagues better. So we see the New York City skyline in distance, and this is always busy, always busy. Well, when I'm seeing the shadow casting, you're walking right now, it looks like you're using a camera and not an iPhone. As you said before, or is that my imagination? No, I'm using a gimbal, that's what I'm using. A gimbal on my iPhone. All right, so I found my tripod, which is in front of a church. I found my tripod. Okay, so I'm using a gimbal. It's the DJI Osmo Mobile 3 gimbal. And yeah, I'm using that. So let's try the donut. Old-fashioned donut. And look at this. So again, this is, in my opinion, one of the top 5 donuts in New York City. I did a video all about donuts. Go to the YouTube channel, Urbanist History of Cities, or search Urbanist Donuts on Facebook, and you'll find it. It is a great video, covers all the best donuts in New York City. Donuts and New York are intimately tied. This is a New York dessert. This is a New York treat, along the likes of the black and white cookie and the cheesecake. Let's try it out. So, it's really good. It's really good. It's a bit grainier, so it's a bit more of a. It tastes a little bit more like a bread, rather than a very fluffy donut. So I love how crunchy the exterior is. The inside is very kind of crummy. Crumb, like lots of crumbs, not crummy, but crumbs, lots of crumbs. So it's a bit odd. I like it, but it's not. There's better. I think the old-fashioned donut from Peter Pan is much better. Yeah, Moe's sticks out with that chocolate sprinkled donut though. This one maybe go Peter Pan's. Also, Dough Donuts has a better old-fashioned in my opinion. And there's another place in Queens called Queen's Comfort? No, it's not Queen's Comfort. Comfortland. It's called Comfortland, and it's really good. All right, I'm gonna have one more bite, and we're gonna continue walking. Good. Very slight orange taste to it. That's good. So, in a good donut, you sometimes taste that very subtle hint of orange zest, which you don't get in most donut shops. You don't have that kind of special spice to it that adds that little kick. No, or zest is not necessarily a spice, but Have that little taste of orange. Bakla bread. Yes, bakla bread is another New York City treat. A babka. Yeah. All right. Some water before. Feel free to ask me any questions. Now we're gonna walk a little bit deeper into Greenpoint. Oh, so full. Nina says you're gaining weight just by looking at this. I feel full. That burger was so filling. Let's continue walking forward. Yeah, I gotta put my mask. Have I tried bread and butter pudding? No, what is that? No, I haven't tried it. Have the rest with a coffee when you go home. Having a coffee at night is, I usually don't do it. Let me know, okay, who drinks coffee at night? Let me know if you're a fan of coffee at night. My own mom loves coffee at night, which is so interesting. I notice a lot of French people drink their coffee after their meal at night. So let me know, do you do that? I've tried bread pudding, but I haven't tried bread and butter pudding. That combination? Maybe. You're watching me on live?
Yeah, I'm watching you now, bro.
Oh, you are? What's your name?
James.
James, nice to see you. How long you been following me?
You know, all together, watching your videos?
Yeah.
But I've been watching this for
No, I mean in general, like.
in general, like a year, I think.
Oh, cool. Do you usually comment?
No.
No, okay. That's why I haven't seen you
I
before.
saw you were like, I'm like, just getting closer to my house.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
All right, sorry to bother you.
Do you enjoy living over here in Greenpoint?
What's that?
Do you enjoy living in Greenpoint?
Oh yeah, 11 years, man.
11 years. Oh, nice. And what's your favorite bar?
Well, it was Matchless, but it's gone.
Matchless.
But Goldie's up here in Nassau is good.
Oh, cool. Awesome. All right. It was awesome meeting you.
That's so surreal.
Yeah.
Good one.
Have a good day, man. So that was James. Press the heart button for James. I won't reveal the exact address, but yeah, right there. That's so cool. If you ever see me while I'm live, feel free to say hi. Always happy to say hi for a few seconds. I think I heard the name correctly. It was James, right? Yeah. Coffee all day if I can, says Ronald. And I love that. James recommends Goldie's, and I think the other bar he said was Matchless. James, feel free to let me know again. But he recommends Goldie's, so local recommendation. James, been here for 11 years, recommends Goldie's and Matchless. So Kay says decaf, a few other people say decaf. Yo, coffee whenever, says Lionel. Don't drink coffee after 7, says Ray. Yeah, me too. I usually don't drink coffee after 7, but decaf sounds interesting. I haven't tried a good decaf coffee. You know, I never even bothered buying decaf, period. Check out this school. James, I appreciate you saying hi. Thanks so much for watching these videos, and hope you're enjoying your Greenpoint living. It's a beautiful area. Ronald, you use coffee and rice. Ronald, that is quite an intense love for coffee, I must admit. Matchless is closed. Okay, I see. Matchless is closed. But Goldie's is the other one. Awesome. I love getting local recommendations. Because I like trying a lot of places, but you know, New York City is so jam-packed with different locations, different food, bars, coffee shops. Sometimes it's great hearing new places. My local coffee shop has great decaf. I prefer it to the regular. JC has milk straight. Ooh, JC, you're very brave for having milk straight. I wouldn't drink milk straight. That's quite intense. There's PS 34. Oh yeah, this is one of the oldest public schools. 1867. Zoom in. I think this might be protected. Maybe. 1867. So very old building for this area of Brooklyn. Carolyn, I am right now in the grand neighborhood of Greenpoint, Brooklyn. The place filled with bars, coffee, Polish food, and many other wonderful things. John says, amazing school. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's a great thing, just kind of bumping into cool architecture. So yeah, this is one of the older schools in New York City, 1867. You know, if you're familiar with the history of the public school system, started shortly after the Civil War, I think, in an official capacity across the country. Though I don't know the history per se completely. But if anyone knows, let me know in the comments. This is an interesting piece of architecture, everyone. Whoa, you rarely see this kind of modern, very modern architecture. Not modern as in like international style from the 70s, but modern, like right now. Contemporary architecture. Very rare you see this type of contemporary architecture in New York City. Oh, this is interesting. I mean, at least not in skyscraper form, but like in a fairly residential neighborhood. Yeah, this is the library, is it, Cindy? It's really cool, really interesting architecture. I love it. It looks like the Museum of Modern Art in Rome, which I didn't get to visit, but I saw photos of it and it looked very similar. So it is a library. Oh, and look, there's benches. Oh, everyone. What? What? There's benches. Oh, this is so cool. Look at this, a bench. A bench. This is a momentous time because it's a new epoch in New York City history that we have benches now that don't have railings between them, so it's not hostile to people who might want to take a nice nap or maybe sleep. So it is very interesting, and I like it because New York City is quickly becoming more outdoor friendly. So it might sound rather silly, but it's a bench. It's a bench, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful bench. You can sit, and it doesn't have railings. What a wonderful time we're living in. The 21st century, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new century. Let's continue walking. Locked and loaded. Greenpoint was a busy area. The streets are so empty, it's so weird. Marie, yes, because of the pandemic. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the pandemic. Yeah, it is a bit emptier than usual. You're suitably wowed. I am indeed. Just can't get enough of that. That is a beautiful, beautiful addition. And here we see more benches. This is genius. Genius. This is the Brooklyn Library. Now, this is an interesting style choice. I see these kind of series of rocks or slates positioned in various public areas. I wonder why they're choosing that style. And they even have bicycle racks. Whoa. A public building with official bicycle racks. Thanks for the video. I miss New York City, says from France. Oh, Marie, I'm so happy to show you New York from France. Thank you so much for tuning in. Beautiful. So here we have another restaurant called La Fonde. A red brick building. Now, cool thing about Greenpoint, as opposed to Williamsburg, is a lot of the restaurants usually have seating. You know, even pre-pandemic times, Greenpoint has never been so packed where you can't find a good seat in a restaurant. Williamsburg might be sometimes a little bit frustrating because it gets really full, and sometimes it's hard to find a seat quickly. You have to sometimes wait 30 minutes to an hour. So Greenpoint is serviced by 2 G train stops, Nassau County and Greenpoint Boulevard, or Greenpoint Avenue, I mean. So this is Nassau Avenue. And we see how far away we are from Williamsburg. There in the distance. It basically looks like a building in the clouds, but that is because we're in lower elevation and that's a pretty high rise. It's like 40 stories, 45 stories. Susie says things in life. I agree, Susie. It's the little things in life. Do you think AI or quantum computing will have a major impact in the next 5 years? Jamie, whoa, that is a very interesting question. I actually wrote a fictional novella about quantum computing and its implications. Check it out, it's called Retrowave. So if no one knew, I'm also a fiction author. I wrote my first novella. It's a short novel. It's about 60 pages, or a little bit less, 45 pages. And it's a sci-fi short story about quantum computing. Now, since this is a show about travel and this is a show about history and cities, will quantum computing or AI change our cities? Yes, it will. I think the biggest impact will probably be driverless cars. You see a lot of space here in the sidewalks dedicated to car parking, and lots of more space dedicated to cars than it is dedicated to people. So, that said, because of driverless cars coming maybe in about 10 years, due to the advancements in AI, quantum computing may or may not be involved with that because it can be done with regular computing, is going to change our fabric of the cities. Suddenly cities are either going to become very spaced out and they're going to require to condense, or cities are going to really thrive with more space. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I think it's ultimately going to be a good thing that we can have more space dedicated to people and have 1 or 2 lanes per street so the driverless cars can pass through. And that really will change the game, I think. Great question. And Jamie, great question. Noel says, no, never. What are you referring to, Noel? So this is very empty. Whoa. I was just here like 3 hours ago, and it was filled with people. What happened? Most businesses here close very early. Here's a pharmacy that was a theater. I think this was the Meserole Theater. Not 100% sure, but it was one of the major theaters in Greenpoint. And it became a pharmacy, I think, somewhere around the 1980s, 1990s. At first, they were vaudeville theaters, and Greenpoint was known for its vaudeville scene. So, cool to see a theater within the pharmacy. Now, if you go inside the pharmacy, you will see the shape of the theater dome. And I think in this one. And here's Peter Pan Donuts. This one has the best old-fashioned donut. Of course, they're closed at this time, but they're absolutely delicious. I'm waiting for a trolley to come back in Red Hook. That would be amazing. I hope they bring back streetcars or trolleys. It would be great. So yes, Phyllis, we are in Manhattan Avenue. Jamie, that's true. Many of the companies are racing for quantum supremacy, and quantum computing might change how we do a bunch of calculations, how we train AI, which will spill over into how we transport ourselves in cities. Have you seen a Net Geo doc on AI called Year Million? No, I haven't. I'm curious to see it now. Interesting. What is it about? What does it show? Just past the interesting clock. Did I? I did. I did pass the interesting clock. Okay, I'll just zoom in because this is a bit far away too. Back. We're already too far. But you see that clock right there beneath the hook light post? That is a clock installed, I think, around 1820, 1830. And it was repaired recently. And let's go to this church, and then we'll see a few more of the residential streets here in Greenpoint. Marie, yes, we'll be heading to Transmitter Park. Let's check it out. I haven't been there in a while. Jamie says it could also potentially open up all manners of Pandora's boxes. It can really change our view of how reality works when it comes to quantum computing. Ronald says it shows how humankind may adapt to AI technology. St. Anthony's is on your right. Yes, we're going to see St. Anthony's. I think you're referring to the church? Yeah, we're going to check it out. It's gone midnight here. Have to watch the rest of the morning. Kay, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good night, Kay. Hope you are well and have a great night. And I hope you enjoy the second part afterwards. All right, now we're walking in Greenpoint. There's not much of that life over here, so we're going to soon go through the residential streets, and I'll show you more of kind of the restaurant area, which we're coming up soon. Channel Urbanist on YouTube. Yeah, Urbanist History of Cities. That's funny. The woman asked, "What's my channel?" Phyllis, yes, it's a Polish Paris. So we're gonna see a lot of Polish restaurants because, as I mentioned earlier, this is called Little Poland. Sarah, of course. You can ask me anything. Y gracias por mirando de Ecuador. Do you recommend to go to New York City shopping at the moment? That really depends on your personal health. It is indoors shopping. They are having limits of how many people can go in, though not all places are obliging. So it depends. Yeah, if you're comfortable with just wearing the mask and are in good health, and I've done shopping myself. Lilo, you're the woman who just yelled from the car. Hey, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good night. That's so cool. There we go. You meet people every day. Sarah says, oh yeah, so new shopping, yes. Williamsburg, there's a lot of cool boutiques if you're into shopping in smaller stores. If you want to shop in more of the chains, those stores that are more popular, you have to go to Soho, and I think there's a lot of cool places there. So here's a place that has free sake with a $15 meal. Tree-lined streets of Greenpoint. The innards of a light post. Here's a great pizzeria restaurant. This is an Italian-style pizzeria. Really great Neapolitan style pizza. Not New York City style, just with a lot more thinner, smaller, and floppier. Really great pizza. Highly recommend it. And they also have great sangria. Phyllis, it looks like an old town. Yes, this is what I like about Greenpoint. It just feels so open, and there's this kind of old town feel, especially when you walk through this main street, which is Manhattan Avenue. I'm not sure why Manhattan doesn't have a Brooklyn Avenue though. So here's St. Anthony's, one of the most beautiful churches in New York, in my opinion. There's many awesome churches in New York, but this one is one of the most unique. The light always hits perfectly in the afternoon. Look at that. Forno means little oven. Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. But there is a little secret here. Here's a Polish restaurant, Christina's, and let's cross the street. I'll show you a little secret pinball bar. Yep, filled with pinball machines. And we'll wait for. Oh, Phyllis, your family's from Naples. You speak Italian. That's so cool. I do have to practice my my Italiano. So here is Sunshine Laundromat and Cleaners. However, the laundromat is open, but if you go through those two doors in the back, right there, leads to a pinball bar. It's a secret pinball bar, and it's not open right now because pandemic. But yeah, secret pinball bar.
Sir, you can hop out with $1 to get something to eat.
Oh, sorry, not right now. And they use their A symbol right there. I'll do my best. A lot of churches are closed. Yeah, the church is closed. Unfortunately, they've been closing churches again due to the pandemic. I was introduced to a priest by a fellow urbanist. They were interested in giving me a tour inside the church, but unfortunately, most churches are all closed. So it's a shame. Look how beautiful this is. It has a really interesting look, especially with that red brick. It's like kind of Christopher Wren style in London, but with this red brick that you might see in England. Does England have any of these type of churches built out of red brick? Let me know in the comments. I know so many people who got married at St. Anthony's. Oh yeah, Jamie, you're right. It does look like King's Cross in London. Yes, it does. It really does. Yeah, it does look like King's Cross. All right, let's walk through this street, which is really interesting. It's very beautiful. And more of this old town charm. Let's cross the street. This is one of the older banks. Anytime you see these huge kind of monolithic buildings with windows that are like 3 times the size, they used to be banks, a lot of them. Phyllis, glad I caught you. I'm so glad you're tuning in, Phyllis. And your Lady of Mount Carmel is the Italian parish in Williamsburg, right? Yeah. So look at these gorgeous houses. Wow, it's a beautiful time right now. Wow, I love the architecture here. Oh, Rouse. You know, Rouse is selling to go. It's notoriously a hard restaurant to enter. But now, because of the pandemic, apparently it's very easy to order. So I might go Rouse, yeah. And look at these houses. Gorgeous houses. And a little church hidden inside the residential street. Wow. This is called St. John's Lutheran Church. And it's time to remove the mask, because this area is much, much emptier. Wow, beautiful. Look at that. I wish I could enter these churches, but they're all always closed. And look at that, wow. It's perfectly framed. Oh, it's so cool. Wayne, you hope to come back in a few years. I wish these churches were open. I like going into churches. Here's Greenpoint Reformed Church. So another church. They call Brooklyn the city of churches, and it's for good reason. And look at these houses. The houses right here, these townhouses, are very special because in New York City, it's very rare to have a front yard. These houses, ladies and gentlemen, have a pretty wide front yard. Wow. This is beautiful. Look at this townhouse. They even have a balcony. Oh, that's so cool. Wow. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is really interesting if you're a fan of architecture. And this is very unique. Look at the door is made out of wooden logs. So interesting. Carroll Gardens is the neighborhood famous for its front gardens. Yes. So sometime, yeah, maybe again. I've done so before. I've done the history. Search Carroll Gardens, New York. I mean, Carroll Gardens Urbanist. But yeah, maybe I'll go back and do another wandering. Wow, this is a gorgeous street. What's the name of the street? It might be DuPont. Let me know if anyone knows the name of the street. I didn't quite capture it. Hey, Facebook, Living and Mat Maker makes your arm look 10 feet long. It does, but it's because of the wide angle lens. I absolutely love wide angle lens. Let me know who else loves it, but this is how it looks normally. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of wide angle lens. And look at these interesting apartment buildings. Look at these doors. Wow, really interesting architecture here. What's up with this street? It's Milton. Thank you, Bob. Milton. Wow. Beautiful stoop. So this is Milton. And the backyards are huge. Phyllis says, so professional, wonderful camera. Also, you're enjoying it, Phyllis. I am in love with this block. Adding this to one of my top blocks in New York City. Let me know, what are your other favorite blocks in New York? this is probably would be a place I would live. Let me know which house would you like. This, I would live here. This is just magical, and it's not close to a major highway. Big part of living is the stoop. You know, I don't see that much stoop life anymore. It's very rare. It's very rare to see stoop life. And this townhouse is for sale. So if anyone wants it, let me know. Townhouse for sale, let me know if anyone wants it. You have a few million. But as we can walk around, you don't see too much stoop culture. It's nowhere near as what it used to be. I think it's because these neighborhoods don't have that many kids. I think that might change in 5 to 10 years. Maybe around 5 years, you might start seeing a lot of kids here again. But I think that's because you don't see stoop culture. I think kids also don't hang out on the block anymore. I'm not entirely sure who has children or grandchildren that are living in the city. Let me know. Do they hang out in the city street anymore? Do they play with kids on the street? Because I rarely see it while walking in New York. It looks nice how insulated the walls are. You're right next to each other. Yes. And oh yeah, that's where I'll live, says Bernal. Does this street have any certain history? I don't know off the top of my head, but it's fascinating looking at just all the architecture here. There has to be some. So the interesting thing is there's different style of houses, and that's what's really magical about this street. So it doesn't appear to be one developer making the entire block, as we see maybe with like Park Slope or a neighborhood like Bensonhurst, which I haven't really shown yet. There's another neighborhood like Fort Greene. You see a lot of these kind of row houses. They're made by one developer. But when you see different types of styles that seem to be built in different eras, they most likely indicate that they are different developers throughout different decades. So it's very interesting to see such beautiful houses in the variety of houses on one single city block. I think that is really magical. Something you don't really see in many city blocks in New York because many neighborhoods were developed by a single developer at some point. So for example, here you can see this row of houses was most likely built by a single developer. Right here, this entire row of houses was most likely built by one developer. Who that was, I'm not entirely sure. Wrought iron gates, yes. And the Vespa, cool, yes, wrought iron gates. The highway separates the Polish and the Italian neighborhoods, the BQA, yes it does. Yes it does. The highway has separated many groups of people. Okay, we're going back to a crowded block. Time for mask again. Bear with me. Noise from the cars. You do hear from the cars. This upcoming street, Franklin Street, has a lot of cars passing through. And David, built to withstand hurricanes. Wonder where the bricks were formed originally. In our locale, some of the bricks came by train from Chicago. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where the bricks come from. And look at this. I'm gonna see how high I can go. So Milton Street, check it out, between Franklin and Manhattan Avenues. Beautiful, beautiful streets to just stroll by. So Franklin Avenue, where we did our live video earlier today. The sunset's coming soon, so we're gonna see if we can get there and show you beautiful views. So this is Franklin Avenue. And Ice Cream Touch, yeah. So this area of Franklin Avenue is much more vibrant. There's a lot more restaurants and bars to hang out in, pizzerias, bakeries, clothing stores. There's also a lot of unique, independently owned boutiques. Car or people, sidewalk, and street. I would have a car-free city if I could. Or driverless vehicles or some type of buses or streetcars. But I would not want, I don't like cars in the city. If I were to live in the perfect world, if I were to design the city, I would just ban cars. I know it might have repercussions, but I think cars are overrated in my opinion. If you have a good train system and good bus transportation, why need a car? So I'll show you one of the top pizzerias. So here's Franklin Avenue. There's more to see down here. Is it very hot? Not really. It's pretty good weather. I gotta buy myself some water, so let me go and buy a little bit of water. Cold brew made in Brooklyn is Grady's Cold Brew. It's really good cold brew. It's very kind of heavy, but highly recommended. Stumptown is also made in New York City, so you can buy cold brew at the supermarket. Of course, there's Blue Bottle as well. They're not a New York company. And here in most places, you also find good craft brews. Sometimes from New York, like Brooklyn Brewery here. Yeah, and here, you usually see these type of craft brews. Hey.
Yeah, $2.
$2. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, nice market. Very beautiful market. This costs $2 in New York City. You know, it's an average price you'll get for water. In Manhattan, sometimes it also would be $4. Okay, so let me point out the best pizza restaurant in Greenpoint. That sounds more like European cities, your ideal cities of no cars. Yes, it is. I think I envision myself living in Europe moving forward. I love New York, always be my hometown, but Europe is calling my name. I'll be finding a way to live in Europe as much as I can. I mentioned this in my earlier live video. Bowery Lane, great craft beer spot. Huge, massive selection of craft beer. Urbanists, check out Netherlands. I love Netherlands. I've been learning about urban planning in the Netherlands. Okay, we're about to pass by Pauly G. Oh no, this is not Pauly G's. Never mind.
That might go pretty easy. But it's definitely not easy.
Here it is, okay. London will be car-free soon. Oh, I love London. What part of Europe would I live in? I would live in London. Yeah, I would live in London. Here's Pauly G's, one of the best pizzerias in New York. So that pizzeria is really great. I'm surprised it's empty. come here like at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., full, completely full. I'm surprised it's empty right now. It's so empty, even though I'm full, I'm tempted to go there and show you a pizza. If you're interested potentially going to pizza, maybe we can sit down pretty quickly. Press that heart button, leave stars, leave a super chat, become a supporter, become a patron, and maybe we'll do some pizza. But before I consider maybe doing pizza, let me show you the views of the sunset. The name of the pizzeria is called Pauly G's. Pauly G's. The man who opened up Pauly G's, his name is Pauly G. Phyllis says, nice shirt. Thank you so much, Phyllis. I appreciate it. Look at this. Someone says, please take it. It's free. And the shoes are from Dune. And some random stuff. Seems like there was a few things taken. You know, London is expensive maybe in prices, but it's still cheaper than New York. Okay, so London and New York. London might seem as expensive as New York, but I lived in London for a month before, and it was half the price for rent, or around the same price for rent. It was slightly cheaper for rent in a much better, newer building, and way more room. Okay. 2, yes, the prices for food and drinks and coffee are about the same. However, London has produce and groceries for 1/3 of the price of America. 1/3 of the price. It is extremely cheap to buy groceries and produce. So London might seem expensive, but from my experience living there for a month, it is actually cheaper than New York. And it blew my mind how that was the case. So here's a cocktail bar. Looks like Belgian bricks, says Christian. Yeah, I think we saw some Belgian bricks earlier. Uh-oh. Something's wrong with my phone, everyone. Ooh, look at this. Well, oh, everyone, prepare yourself. What size shoes? I don't know. They seem pretty large though. They seem like a size 9. Whoa. Welcome to Greenpoint waterfront, right by the ferry. Cynthia, silly question. So the UK has farms? Yes, it does. Yeah, and most of the produce, from my experience, were local, so they were fairly close to London. Marie says, "Oh my God, I agree. I agree."
You have 10 more minutes.
Muhammad says, "Wow, I agree. Look at this, everyone. Oh wow, this is just amazing. Look at the street art as well." And there used to be a bar here. It's closed. I'm surprised. This was an outdoor bar right on the waterfront, and it's closed at this time. Look at this. So there used to be a bar here. I'm surprised this is closed. Let's check out the sunset. What area of London is my favorite? I mean, if I could live anywhere, it would be like Marylebone. But I love Soho. I love Camden. There's a party going on here.
Like that tower on the right side of it.
There's a DJ. So cool. And actually, they're partying on top of a wooden beam. So there's not even a dance floor. The dance floor is just rocks. That's cool. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Social distancing? No, there is none here. Very, very minimal social distancing. I think Americans have given up on social distancing and masks. This is just absolutely gorgeous. New York is like a virtual world. The people don't seem human, says Jamie. How so, Jamie? I'm very curious. That's a very interesting comment. I'm very curious. Please expound on that statement. But I do feel you in terms of the architecture. Sometimes it does look rather otherworldly. It looks like a video game city because it's so beautiful with the skyline. Look at that skyline, everyone. The ferry stop is right down there. Connects you all throughout East River. So Gavin says, we live in London. When we visited New York last year, it felt expensive. Yes. Yes. You know, London is this, it looks like it's expensive, but it's actually cheaper than New York. I miss Brooklyn. The ferry ride was unbelievable yesterday, says Phyllis. Oh, yes, it was. More photos of the ferry to come. Susie says, awesome. My God, the colors, yes. Nothing on cable, you win. Oh, I'm glad I won. Name of the pizza place was Paulie G's. Do people swim? No, you don't swim in the East River. East River, for context, watch my other videos, is one of the most polluted rivers in the entire world. They might not say that, but one of the largest oil spills in American history took place along the East River in Newton Creek. So yes, it's extremely dirty still. And parts of it is called the Superfund site, which means it's highly poisonous, highly polluted. And the American government is taking top priority to clean it up in order to, as a public health measure. So yeah, don't swim in the East River. If you see it, like if I were to throw a rock right now, the splash, you'll see it's all brown. Despite how many videos you might see of people taking a swim in the East River, do not do it. I would recommend against it. Let's walk around a little bit more. There's 60,000 available apartments. I'm not sure about 60. That's interesting. That might be the case soon. Last report I read was 13,000. So yeah, vacant apartments are increasing very quickly. Newton Creek, they never cleaned it. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Williamsburg Bridge. Enjoy for me, please. I stayed in this place during a long time when I went to New York City. Definitely not pretty close up. Look at that. Wow. Look at the sun. Fall is coming. Oh, yes, it is, Brandon. Fall is coming. Instead of the white walkers, we gotta watch out for the autumn walkers. What is this walkway called? I'm not sure. If anyone knows, let me know. It's on the waterfront. It's along... I'm not sure what street actually it's along. Good question. I think it's along Oak, maybe.
We're all like,
one of these,
how,
like
hey,
that on the
do you want to
beach
get
the
another
other day?
$18 drink and scream for a while? You're like, hey, we're gonna have to do that.
Muhammad says the city's so beautiful but polluted. Yeah, but it's getting better. It's getting better. Give it some time. It'll clean up. Maybe within our lifetimes we'll see whales along the Hudson and crystal blue waters on the East River. So much so that you can take a nice swim in them. I hope so. Crossing my fingers for that. When I'm in London, I feel everyone's connecting with each other even without speaking. You can sense their energy. New York people remind me of video game sims. Jamie, I absolutely love your comments. Yeah, I know what you mean. One of the reasons I really enjoyed London and England overall was it felt like you actually connected with more people. People like sat down and had more conversations, and conversations where you actually got to know each other. It wasn't kind of just small talk or like what we're going to do next. I've encountered more of that here in New York City. So when I went to Europe, specifically London, I just felt like this deeper connection more with people. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. And I know what you mean. Yeah, New York City, it seems warm, but it also could be cold. When you go compared to maybe other European countries where it tends to be more warmer in a real way. Yeah. It's tricky. Every city has their own personality. I think the best thing about New York is its speed. It's high energy. It's kind of so many things to do at any given time. That's the benefit of New York. But when you go to a European city, you have more kind of calmer, getting to know each other, more kind of connection, I think.
Yeah, as long as like
Muhammad, yes, hustle culture, yes. I would call it hustle culture. Phyllis, where do I reside? Currently I reside just outside of Queens in Nassau County, Long Island. Benny from Brazil, bienvenidos, gracias por mirando. I grew up in the 60s and 70s and there was more connection. I can imagine. I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that. Astoria is nearby. Astoria, I'll point it out. We can't really see it because there's a bend, but if you continue the East River down there along the bend, you'll find Astoria, Queens. I think one of the ferries might stop in Astoria, though I'm not 100% sure. Maybe one of them does. Nassau County is... Okay, everyone, I gotta pull out the map. It's time to pull up the map. We are on the island of Long Island. We are currently in Brooklyn. We're seeing Manhattan, which is in pink. We can't see Queens, but Queens is around the corner. And I'm located in this area of New York. Do you ever see Spider-Man? Oh, Sean, how I wish that I would see Spider-Man or, even the actors who play Spider-Man, specifically Tom Holland. That would be really cool. I feel like I could be good friends with Tom Holland easily. I would love to make a movie with Tom Holland. Phyllis says Kent Avenue. Oh yeah, Kent Avenue is gorgeous. It is. The name of the salon is Avojo. Since I live near Queens, oh yeah. Spider-Man is from Forest Hills. Yeah. That's a good reference. I'm glad you know about where Spider-Man lives. Can you take a round trip on one of those ferries? Round, no, but what you can easily do is buy a ticket, right? You board it. Everyone has to get off at the last stop. However, the ferry departs just a few minutes right after, so you can buy another ticket using your phone and just board it again. It's very easy. And Ariel got a jump says Ubdu. Sorry I mispronounced your name. Please correct me. But you gotta jump. It's approaching 5:45 a.m. Pacific. Whoa! And my wife is telling me we must go. I love your tour. Homesickness is a sign of success for you. Oh, I'm so glad. And they were all factories. And where were you during Hurricane Sandy? I was at home in New York City, and whoa, yeah, that was an intense time. I wasn't in the city, luckily. Otherwise, my apartment could have been flooded. So I didn't experience flooding, but there was collapsed trees everywhere and no electricity. Phyllis, where am I going next? I don't know yet. I don't know. Let's zoom in here on the... This is just a beautiful sunset. I kind of want to enjoy it, everything I can. English reformed the world language. Lingua franca. Yes. Many parts of English is French. So here we see the high-rise apartments of Williamsburg. Someone requested to go Domino Park. We're a bit far away, but that's Domino Park down there. And we see the moon right there. Look at the moon. Sean, great question. Oh wow, all of you ask great questions. If I can boil it to one thing, what do I cherish most about New York City? You know, many cities around the world don't offer a view of the skyline. And Paris has its magic with the cafes and people watching and the beautiful architecture, uniform architecture. London has its magic in the winding streets and its coffee and walking along the Thames and all the pedestrian bridges. And then Rome has its magic with this old architecture, more than 2,000 years old. But where New York's true magic lies is in the skyline. There's really no other, there's very few cities. There's a few cities, but not that many cities, especially when you compare it to Europe, where you have such an amazing skyline. It's truly unique. Main reason is, you can go to Chicago, for example, but you won't see the skyline because Chicago is nearby the lake. And on the other side of the lake, you can't really see the skyline. So there's no other side of Chicago you can go to see the skyline. Philadelphia, kind of the same thing. On the other side of the river in Philadelphia, it's a bit far away. There's not really that much of a skyline. And then you go to maybe another city like Miami, same thing. Montreal, same thing. But here, since we're divided by the East River, we both have the beautiful waterfront areas of Williamsburg, and we have the gorgeous skyline of New York City. So that's what I cherish the most, especially during these times of the pandemic where we can't go indoors anymore. Americans love their air conditioning, me included. I love air conditioning, but during this pandemic I'm finding out A, that's overrated, B, indoor places are overrated. We have great weather for a good reason. Might as well enjoy it and be out here and enjoy the skyline, which you don't see in most other cities. Maybe in a few other Asian cities, maybe like a place like Taipei maybe, or Hong Kong, or Shanghai. But in the West, you don't have this. You don't have this. It's very unique to be able to see a full skyline, just a mere less than a mile distance around there, or around a mile. Truly magical. Best answer ever. So true, my dude. I could tell you have a real passion about what you're saying. The skyline is unmatched. And beyond that, we have the ferry. So, you know, it's just another great way of loving the skyline. All right, everyone. I got to drink a swig of water, so I'm going to put the camera down for a few seconds, and then we're going to continue walking. You can watch it through here.
Hey, you YouTuber?
Yes.
What you doing? What's your channel?
I do live videos of history of cities.
Oh, that's great.
And you can find me on Urbanist.
Urbanist.
Yeah, urbanist. Yeah.
So what do you think? What's your take on, for, not for Greenpoint and all that? What's your take?
On Greenpoint, I love it. I mean, the architecture is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have this view over here.
I've been thinking about starting a YouTube thing too. I love
Yeah.
YouTube. It's my favorite social network, I think.
It is, yeah, it's really
Yeah.
awesome. Are you from New York?
I live in Bushwick right
Bushwick.
now.
Okay, cool, yeah. Yeah, Bushwick is also another great neighborhood.
So you're thinking just talking about neighborhood by neighborhood?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been doing this already like 4 years.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
explore basically every corner of New York.
Is it paying for your livelihood yet, or is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
there?
most of it. I do both Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, that's
And
great.
beyond that, I'm a freelance filmmaker.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. You can find me, Urbanist History of Cities.
Urbanist.
Yeah.
I'll find you.
Yeah. Have a good day, man.
Keep it up.
All right, cool. Okay, everyone. Sicilian Skyline. Yeah. All right. I just drank a good cup of water. So it was awesome. A guy stopped me around, living in Bushwick. Seems to be from another place in the U.S. Lots of people who come from other parts of the U.S. That are young tend to move to Bushwick nowadays. So now let's continue going through Greenpoint. Let's see what else we can find. He sounds high. I think he might be. I think he is. Susie, thank you so much for the stars. Jim says stay hydrated. Oh yes. Usually I do rather easily, but with the mask, it's hard to just take a random swigs of water while walking around. Okay, everyone, that was the Skyline. Let's see, I'll show you a little bit more Greenpoint, and I don't know, maybe a ferry ride. I don't know. Let's see what we can do. Maybe we can do one of those. We have multiple options.
I couldn't come back.
Cindy, what did I miss? Got off for a minute. Cindy, you missed this Skyline. Yeah. But you can watch the replay. Might see more of the Skyline soon. Did you end up seeing the Newsy comment? No, I did not see the Newsy comment. Look at this. Oh my God. Everyone, it's kind of hard to leave. It's hard to leave. This is just something you really have to deeply take in. This is a gorgeous sunset today. Where do you see the New York City skyline in the future, like the high-rise building for the rich? Great question, Mohammed.
Convenient.
That's a really tough question to answer. The pandemic has really changed things. So there's really small need for offices. So you might not see office high-rises anymore. Okay, so I think a Sunset Ferry might be in store. However, I need your support for Sunset Ferry. Press that heart button, press that like button, show me your love, show me how much you're enjoying this. Doing a live video, I'm usually just talking basically to just a camera, but luckily I see your comments. So show me in the comments what you love most about New York, or what you've been loving recently, and let me know if you would like to do a ferry ride. And Kathy, thank you so much for the stars. I really appreciate it. Lori, thank you so much for the stars. I really appreciate it. Stars help support this channel so I can show you things like the ferry, foods, attractions, other neighborhoods. Let me know if you want to go see the ferry during the sunset. I'm gonna put on my e-shoes, electronic shoes, to go super fast. So So the full ferry is not open yet. I mean, the full waterfront is not open yet. So would a building the size of the Burj Khalifa ever work in New York City? Yeah, it's a bit tricky because New York is not the capital of the U.S. And New York is not the capital of the U.S. So there is, since it's not the capital, there's no really big national incentive on behalf of the nation, United States of America, to put in money or tax incentives to build a massive skyscraper that will be the new symbol of the world. That's why New York City has skyscrapers, but it doesn't really have like huge monuments and other things like that. However, when you see, for example, Dubai, I think it's slightly different. I think the UAE has a personal stake in building a huge skyscraper. I don't know the full details, but I can imagine there has been tax incentives or other type of incentives in order for people to build the Burj Khalifa and attract developers. So that said, I don't envision New York City building a Burj Khalifa sized building anytime soon, unless if some crazy developer thinks that New York City real estate is worth it, which is a bit questionable right now. However, you're going to see taller skyscrapers. Maybe not on the scale of the Burj Khalifa, but definitely taller than anything else on the Western Hemisphere. And that's coming soon with the spiral. And the lights are coming on. So another like kind of abandoned street here. However, give this 5 years, hopefully, if things get better here in New York City. And you're gonna see a lot more business. Ferry, ferry, everyone say ferry. All right, everyone. We are going to the ferry. Let's see if we're here on time. Okay, another ferry hasn't passed yet. Okay, we're gonna make our way to the ferry. The people have spoken. It's getting dark, so I'm gonna put the #1 camera. Here's one Greenpoint, 40 stories tall, 41 stories tall. Some city bikes. Todd, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate it. And just you wait. This soon might become a gorgeous, gorgeous area for restaurants and food. Mohammed, I hope that answers your question. The views from the ferry are awesome. They are. Stunning, says Christian. Oh, it is stunning. I appreciate so much. Thanks, Caesar. Caesar, thank you so much for tuning in. We would building. Oh yeah, Sean was the one who asked for that. Sean, I hope that answers your question. Is there a governmental how you call it? Governmental regulation on the Skyline? Yes. The Empire State Building's views are protected. I'm not entirely sure to what extent. However, there was a developer who wanted to build a skyscraper right in front of the Empire State Building, which will block the view from most of Brooklyn and Queens. So you could just imagine a huge skyscraper taller than the Empire State Building right there. And they stopped it because they didn't want to ruin the New York City skyline. Can you rent a bike with a bank card? I think you can. I'm not 100% sure, but next time I'll pass by one, I'll double check. Oh, look at this. Okay, so the ferry's down there. I already have a ticket, so I'm okay. Whew. That was quite a walk. Look at that. The Freedom Tower is just right in between those two smokestacks. So cool. The ferry is en route. We see it there in the distance. It's coming directly for Greenpoint. We are going to embark on one of the most memorable ferry rides you'll ever take in your lifetime. I hope you get to see it in person at some point. I'm happy to show you the way on video. There's the ferry. Say hello, wave. And this will be going towards Long Island City. So let's see how much of the city view we can see.
It's just.
Caesar, you hope to return to New York City as soon as possible with your amazing images. It helps me get an idea of where to go. I'm glad, Caesar. That's cool. These videos are available for replay. If it's a bit easier to see them on YouTube, you can follow Urbanist History of Cities on YouTube as well. And the moon shape. Jamie, I think so. Yeah, I think the moon. No, you know, that's a good question, Jamie. I don't know. I don't think so. Let me know, someone in the comments. This might sound like very easy to know, but Jamie, I don't think I know either. So let me know. Is it the same in every single part of the world, or does it shift in different parts of the world? Let me know in the comments. It's a crescent moon. Yeah, it's a crescent moon right now. Kathy says same. Take the Rockaway ferry. Yes, Bob, I did that the other day. It's really awesome. Highly recommend it. Maybe I'll do a video of it one day. Do any of these street names ring a bell, and can you pronounce them properly? Houston, Stuyvesant, Kosciuszko, and Schermerhorn. Sean. It's very hard to pronounce all those words, I know. And don't worry, New Yorkers might tease you, but it's okay. You pronounce it whatever you think it is. People will correct you. That's what they do here in New York. It's not like in London where sometimes people are a little bit shyer about correcting you on street names. So people do not paddle with surfing boards. No. Not much paddle surfing here. No, I don't think so. Again, East River is not the cleanest river.
Next to the coffee machine. 34?
We are in the ER line, which is East River. Ask Louise. I use the iPhone Pro 11 Max. So Christian says, I saw some documentary of oysters in the water to clean. Yes, so when Henry Hudson first came to New York City, he commented upon the New York harbor, including the East River and the Hudson River, saying that the waters were crystal clear blue. Many other explorers of New York City, like Giuseppe de Verrazzano, said the same thing. And the reason was New York City harbor was filled with oysters, including all the way up in the rivers. Oysters are natural water purifiers. So the waters we used to have in New York were crystal clear blue. You can see many feet deep. Of course, by the early 1900s, we ate most of the oysters. New Yorkers were obsessed with oysters. So there was too many oysters eaten. Oysters died out, basically became extinct in New York Harbor. There used to be trillions of them. Now there's basically none until they started reintroducing them just a few short years ago. So yeah, New York City has round greenish water now, the East River, but it used to be crystal clear blue, which is very interesting. There are certain rivers that's not the case. You know, Seine, I think, was never actually crystal clear. There's certain rivers, like the one in Prague is also very dark. It's naturally dark. But the East River is not naturally green or dark. That's because of the pollution and because of the lack of oysters. So the Billion Oyster Project is amazing. I'm glad that they're doing it. Jackie, there's free kayaking. Kayaking, yes, there is a few areas with kayaking. Yeah, that's true. But paddleboarding, I don't think so. So here's the 34th Street stop. However, we're going to stop at Long Island City. Wow, look at that. Bumpy ride. So right there's the Queensboro Bridge. That was the quiz yesterday. Whoever got it right, you win yourself a pizza. Queensboro Bridge, right there. Oh, actually, we can do the... Oh. Yeah. Actually, we're going to take the ferry for a second time. We're going to do this. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to buy a ferry ticket with my secondary phone. And we're going to take the ferry again to 34th Street and reboard it. So... if you want to do that, let me know, because then we'll see the other two bridges. Hopefully it won't be too long. Oh, whatever. We'll go anyway. So if you want to extend this tour basically by like 40 minutes and see more of the ferry, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, the museums are opening up again, Cynthia. They are. Todd gives stars. Well, Todd, thank you so much. So there are various types of masks. Yeah, people are using sometimes scarves. Some people are using headdresses. Some people are not using masks at all. They were enforcing masks before, but they don't seem to be doing that right now, so a lot of people are taking them off. Sean says, your videos like this literally make me want to leave my life and live there. The current views look stunning in this video. I can only imagine how incredible it is for you in person. It truly is deeply breathtaking in person. Just these array of videos, and you're just seeing a small portion of the ferry. You can take the ferry between Roosevelt Island and Manhattan, which leads to the Bronx. Gorgeous views as well. You can take this down to Dumbo, which we're gonna do. So there's so many amazing views here. Ferry's $2.75. Everyone sees the same phases of the moon, says Jamie. But people south of the equator who face the north see the moon when it is high in the sky. And we will see the moon upside down. So that's the reverse that's lit. Oh, interesting. Thank you, Jamie, for checking that out. Where's Broadway from where you're at? Broadway's right here. This is 42nd Street. You have to, actually, sorry, my mistake. Broadway is this way, right here. You have to continue going down beyond 1 Vanderbilt, so the Chrysler and 1 Vanderbilt. Phil, the Sandman has arrived. Have a good night, Phil. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you sleep well. And am I a tourism guide? Yes, I do offer private tours. I am not full-time tour guide. I do full videos full-time. But if you want a private tour from me, you'll get the same experience that you get in the video. All the awesome stories about history. You can go to urbanist.live/tours. Has Broadway reopened? No, Ken, no, not at all. Sean says the video of the woman jumping into the Hudson is getting a lot of backlash. Why do you think this is? Kevin says the view is insane. Oh, yes, it is. Krista, greetings, watching from the Netherlands. Welcome. Nice to see you here.
Final stop, East 34th Street. All passengers,
Is this the last stop for
Christian, do I ever see actors walking by? Yes, I've seen actors walking by. Not since the pandemic, but before, yeah, I've had many sightings. I've seen Tom Hardy, Zachary Quinto, who's Spock in the new Star Trek movies, and also the main villain in the TV show Heroes. I've seen Justin Timberlake, the singer, actor, and a few others.
This is an East River boat going to Wall Street. The next stop will be Hunters Point South. Hunters Point South.
Okay, everyone, I gotta buy tickets very quickly because I have a second phone that I'm starting to use, but it ain't working. So I gotta buy another ticket to reboard. So bear with me as I try to hurry up. So this is the 34th Street stop. This is the main hub of the ferry. Is it? No, it's not. Wall Street is the main hub, but this is another one where you can get a lot of different lines. So 34th Street on the east side of Manhattan, because we're on the East River. That is the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Drive. Sean, have I ever experienced tourists coming up to me and ask random questions about the city? Yeah, it's happened to me, actually on live video. In normal life, yeah, it's happened to me many times. People ask me sometimes where a certain museum is at or which street they're walking towards. I often get like, where's so-and-so street, especially in below Houston Street, where a lot of the streets are named, they're not numbered. I've gotten questions about museums. Yeah, those are the questions I got the most. And on live video, it's happened to like a few times where someone asked me, hey, where's so-and-so attraction? Preston, this was not a thing in 1981, how things have changed. Yeah, it's very nice to have a ferry.
Great. Either this one or that one.
Christian, why are you saying Star Trek? What do you mean Star Trek? And Preston, it wasn't a thing in the 80s except for the Staten Island ferry. However, it was a thing when you would come back here in the 1890s, 1900s. There were ferries all along the East River. So we're kind of returning back to these olden times. Faithful from Dominican Republic, welcome. Gayatri, hello. Haven't seen you in a while, welcome. Hey Jamie, Jamie, you're asking the deep questions. If AI improves with the use of 5G, which it will, yeah, there's going to be some type of internet technology that's going to get better. Do you think America will have permanent high employment? Maybe initially. You might see that in cities like New York. There might be a lot of jobs replaced by rising technology, such as service jobs, such as delivery jobs. Especially if we develop driverless cars, a lot of delivery jobs will be kind of become non-existent. Yeah, a lot of things will initially, but the Industrial Revolution happened more than 100 years ago, and a lot of jobs that did disappear initially were eventually replaced, and there was more jobs created. So the Industrial Revolution, a lot of people feared that jobs would just disappear, and it didn't. What happened was 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the amount of jobs were created. There's specific data on that you can search up online. And the same thing will most likely happen with AI. We're going to have, initially a lot of jobs are going to be replaced, but it might generate unforeseen jobs that we can't even think about. So imagine trying to describe to someone 100 years ago what is a social media manager, or a videographer 100 years ago, someone living in the 1880s, describing to them what I do, live video. They won't understand it. So Industrial Revolution brought jobs that someone in the 1880s couldn't predict it. Same thing with AI. It's going to bring jobs that we just don't even know of yet. Christian, you asked how to have similar incomes across countries with the UN made permanent. What's that bridge in the distance? That is the Queensboro Bridge, which I featured yesterday. And here's the New York City skyline. So Queensboro Bridge. How to have similar incomes across countries with a UN-made parliament. Oh, I'm not sure what you're asking, Christian, but that is the UN building right there, United Nations building. Hello in America. Thank you so much for tuning in. Are you allowed to visit Willowbrook? What is Willowbrook? I don't know what that is, Sean. Let me know. And we got the ferry when we visited after I watched one of your old videos recommending it. Oh, I'm glad you did.
Honors going south.
nice and cold in here. They put very heavy air conditioning. There's an urban legend about a boogeyman called Cropsey. So wasn't sure if they did tours or whatnot. I'll be all for it. Ooh, what are you referring to? Boogeyman, I think, is a name that comes from Russian, right? What are you referring to? So we have arrived. I'm cutting this a little bit short because I'm running out of battery. And it's getting a little bit late, but I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any last remaining questions, feel free to ask. Let me show you more of the views down here. Jacqueline, referring to Long Island, where patients were mistreated. I'm not sure what hospital you're referring to, but there is one here, unfortunately, Randall Island. I think my comments are coming out of order. Oh yeah, Sean, sometimes Facebook doesn't show me all the comments. I was referring to Willowbrook, the place with the urban legend. Oh, I'm not sure, I haven't heard about it. A few differences. One is the speed of change is much faster than the Industrial Revolution. It is, Jamie, and people require a higher level of education. Yeah, that is true, Jamie. So a lot of interesting things are going to happen. All right, everyone. I appreciate you tuning in. We are in Long Island City. This was the New York City Ferry, Williamsburg, Greenpoint, and the New York City Ferry at night. There's a lot more other awesome routes to take, such as the route from East 34th Street to East 90th Street goes right in the middle of Roosevelt Island and Manhattan. So you see awesome views very close up of the New York City skyline and the Queensboro Bridge. So I just got off at the Hunters Point South stop inside Long Island City, but there's also a Long Island City stop. So Long Island City has two stops, Hunters Point South, which I got off, and Long Island City. Ooh, I am very dark. There is no light here. So anyway, thank you everyone so much for tuning in. You know, I have a way to fix this. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's not the best light. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the supporters who've been supporting monthly and leaving stars. Gwen, Kay, Sarah. There's a few other people. Donald, a few others are supporters. Thank you so much for lending your support. And thank you so much for watching. If you have any additional questions, always feel free to ask. Saturdays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. and then other random live videos. So put on those notifications on YouTube and on Facebook. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. And I'm completely engulfed in darkness. Have a great day, everyone. But soon you will see the light. The light will always win out over the darkness. Have a great day.